Hey everyone, it's Terry here, Terry Till, and in today's video I want to talk about 5 tips for making your customers feel important, and how basically to give customers the right sort of service that I think personally is what customers expect and are duly right for expecting, how to treat them right basically. I've got some notes, so obviously my eyes will stray down to my notes, and I've said 5 tips, but there might be a little bit more, and you know how I ramble. So address them by the first name. I think it's always nice when you're talking to somebody, be it on the telephone, voice messenger, even when you text them, always use the first Christian name and talk to people and use that. People love to hear the name. It makes them feel a little bit important, but not only that, it's more personal, and it's just nice if you can address each other on first name terms. And I think if you can make your customers feel important, which they are, and you address them right by talking to them and using their first names, you set the mood right, and that's something I would say would be a nice first tip, how to talk to your customers. Second one I've got down is get back to them ASAP. So if they're putting in some sort of message to you, or some sort of customer support request, or whatever it might be, get back pretty much as soon as you can, certainly within 24 hours. People expect you basically to get back straight away nowadays, within minutes, which is impossible a lot of the time, because you're doing lots of other things. You might be offline. I mean, you know, you have got lives other than being on the internet. So certainly within 24 hours. Now, I do work on the internet, so I'll try and get back quicker, but I think allowing 24 hours is a fair. I mean, they used to say 24 hours to 48 hours, and I know some people take longer, but it does get frustrating. And when you're trying to sort something out, you're sort of understandably eager to get it sorted out. Even I get that way now, because you get used to this immediate response situation. So I would say certainly within 24 hours would be, to me, would be a sort of a deadline. But if you can do it quicker, well, that just shows, you know, you're on the ball, and to me that would be great. And I certainly, if I see something, I'll try and get back to the people who've asked questions as soon as I can. It just shows you're actively interested in them and the business, and you're looking after their welfare, because you've got an interest and you're getting back to them. If you couldn't be bothered and you don't bother getting back for days or weeks, unless there's some particular reason why that's out of your control, it just doesn't look good, does it? It isn't good service. And customer support, pretty much, I've always dealt, being in businesses, even before being online, with customer type businesses, and customer support is probably the number one most important thing. You've got to look after your customers. Sort of tip 3 was basically saying genuinely try to help them. So yeah, genuinely try to help the people. Show them that you're being genuine and you're trying to help them, and pretty much, you know, if they've got a problem, sort it out for them, or do your very best to sort it out. If it's something in your control to sort out, then sort it out. Or if not, try and find the answers so you can sort it out and say, I don't know immediately what the answer is, but I'll find it out and I'll get back to you, and we'll sort this problem out. And it just works so many wonders. And people, I've been in, as I say, even offline, I've had customers come ranting and raging and fuming, you know, ready to virtually attack you. And in the end, they've been my best of friends. And it's all down to how you talk to people and how you treat them. If you treat people right, even pretty much 99.9% of the time, even when they're disgruntled, unsatisfied, whatever the case, they will come round and talk to you and be pretty nice to you, as long as you talk to them nice and explain the situation and show them that you're genuinely trying to help and you're genuinely trying to sort the problem out. If you do that, you know, nobody can ask any more, and they can't ask any more, and they can see that you're doing your best. So yeah, that's pretty much another thing I would say is very important, which leads on to pretty much the same thing. I've got go the extra mile to show them that you really care. And yeah, all part of the same thing, but another sort of aspect. just go that extra mile, just do that bit extra that other people don't do, and you'll stand out a mile as somebody who they want to do business with in the future, because you do put yourself out. And if there's a choice of you and somebody else, you'll get the preference, because they know that you're there, you treat them right, and you'll go the extra mile to help them. And if there's a problem, you'll sort it out pretty much ASAP. And as I say, get that extra bit of distance that you don't have to, but you do, just to look after them and treat them right. It all pays dividends in the end. Be genuine, look after people, and it will pay dividends without a doubt. Yeah, again, next thing I've got down is remember your customer. Well, there used to be a saying, the customer's always right. And that's pretty hard sometimes, because you think, oh, I definitely don't think so. But you have to pretend and keep a smile on your face and try and deal with customers and pretend they're right, even when you know 100% they're probably not. I'm not saying they're always wrong, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you do get sort of people who are asking the impossible, and you know very well it's nothing to do with you, but you just try to keep the flow nice and slow. keep them under control, and just calm down. Let's sort this problem out. Being irate and having it. Yeah, as I say, I've dealt over the counter and had customers especially coming up. Just calm down. We'll sort it out. No need to worry. We'll sort the problem out. If there's a problem, we'll sort it out. So I'll be like that. And it's more difficult, obviously. It's easy when you're face to face, because they can see your expression, they can see you're genuine. When you're typing in a text message or an email, it's harder to put over that concern, and now you're trying to help them. But you've got to somehow put it over as best as you can, that you're trying to do your best to help them. And usually, not every time, but usually you can sort things out, and they'll appreciate it and be okay. You'll always get somebody, you can't please everybody all the time. So, what's that saying? You can please some of the people some of the time, you can please some of the people all of the time, and all of the people some of the time, but you can't please all of the people all of the time. And that's pretty much got it all summed up. Brilliant saying, and it covers everything. And the last one, I just don't get into arguments. Yeah, never get into arguments with customers, because you're on a loser. I don't mean you're physically on a lose, or you're going to lose the battle, but you're going to lose the customer. You're going to lose their respect. And let's face it, your customers pay your bills, your customers pay your wages, your customers are everything. If you've got no customers, you've got no business, you've got no life, really. If you've got no business, you've got to go and get another job. So, always treat your customers right. Never get into arguments. Calm the situation down. Try and sort out the problem. It's usually something that can be sorted, and sort it out as quickly as you can to the best of your ability. Let them see you're doing your best to sort it out. Keep them happy. Keep them as a customer, not as an enemy. Somebody who goes and starts telling everybody how bad you are, because that's just as bad, because then all of a sudden you've got people on the internet dissing you and saying how bad you are, and how, you've seen all these things where there's things saying these are scams, and half the time they're saying these things are scams, and it ain't because the programs it's a scam. It's because they've had a difference of opinion about something, and they haven't sorted it out. And so the first thing I think is, right, I'm going to ruin that company, or I'm going to do this. And you just want to avoid that, so just try and deal with them and sort things out as best you can. Keep them calm, as I say. That's the key element. Keep it at a calm, talkable level, so you can sort things out. And it'll cover a multitude of problems and get you, sorted out, and keep everybody pretty much on a friendly basis. You'll always get somebody. You can't please everybody. You'll always get somebody. It don't matter what you do, how you do it, how much you put yourself out. There'll always be somebody you cannot please. It's just inevitable. That is the way of the world. But pretty much 99.9% of the people, you will be okay and get sorted out. And I don't mean try and trick them, con them, or do. I mean genuinely help them. Let them see you're helping them. Go that sort of extra mile to show them that you really care and you're really, taking care of them. And as I say, it pays dividends, because they'll stick with you. Many years ago I had a business and car insurance, And I had somebody and they come in arguing. In the end, there was one of my best customers, stopped with me for years. So you can always change things around. You just got to talk to people right, have the right attitude, and just show them, as I say, you're trying to do your best. So started off as 5 tips, sort of ranted and raved, went into a merger of everything. But it's generally just talking to people the right way. You don't have to talk to people. You not only have to talk to people the right way when you're trying to get them to become a customer. It's just as important keeping customers. It's no good getting customers if you're losing customers. You want to try and increase your customer base. So it's probably more so because new customers will come to you, but they'll soon leave you if you don't treat them right. So keeping your existing customers is just as important, if not more important, than getting new customers. Everybody's important, really. If we all treat each other with a bit of respect and talk to them friendly and get on with them as nice as we can, it would be so much a better world. So treat all your customers as best and people you're doing business with as nicely as you can, and you'll get on a lot better. It'll work wonders. It always has for me anyway, so but I'm sure we will see. We will see in the future what happens. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it's given you a few tips, a few things that might be useful in your businesses or how you deal with people if you've got customers. If you liked it and you're watching this on YouTube, give me a thumbs up, please. Subscribe to the channel. I try and do a video pretty much most days. Hopefully some useful information in some of the videos. And if you've got any comments, put them below. And if you're watching this video on Facebook, just put a comment below, any comments you got, and I'll try and answer them as quickly as possible. So thanks for staying with me and watching that. Really enjoyed your company, and see you in the next video.